Welcome to Women and Films. I am Kemi Oshukoya. Why is women empowerment important for a country's economic development? And how can the public and the private sectors work together to help boost women economic empowerment to ensure sustainable development of a country? These are some of the issues a U.S. government initiative, Women Global Development and Prosperity Initiative, led by the White House in conjunction with USAID, hope to address globally by providing access to resources, both financial and technical resources, through public and private partnership in projects, initiatives, and programs that will support women and girls and their nation on the path to self-reliance, gender equality, poverty eradication, and economic growth. During an event in Washington, D.C., I sat down with 3 recipients of the W-GDP Initiative Fund to talk about the program and their projects. So talk to me about the WGDP program and what you guys are doing in DC today.
Sure. So the 3 of us represent awardees of some of the funds from the WGDP program. My organization, Dimagi, was awarded under Pillar 1, which aims to improve women's empowerment in the workforce. So we'll be using our funds to develop a chatbot for female entrepreneurs in Rwanda that will follow a 12-month entrepreneurship course that they do with a group called Women for Women International.
Okay. And you?
So my organization, Solidaridad, was awarded under Pillar 3, which is empowered women in the economy, and we are using our funds to develop an app to support women dairy farmers in Bangladesh through both voice and SMS-based training, and then also it will use a mobile wallet system, so even if they're not able to take milk to market themselves, they'll make sure that they get the funds that they should be paid.
And can you talk about your product?
So we were awarded under Pillar 2, which is Women Succeeding as Entrepreneurs. And my organisation, United Purpose, in collaboration with a consortium of other international NGOs such as Practical Action, SBC4D, United, UCSC and Jokalante, we're going to use the funds from Women Connect to provide business development services to women entrepreneurs to strengthen their businesses, but also work with microfinance institutions to make sure that the credit application process is much more accessible to women so that they can access loans to then be able to invest in their businesses. And all of this is done through a selection of accessible and interactive ICT tools, which is rolled out through radio and also through mobile phones. And there's no need for internet or literacy or even any money, so they're very accessible to people in rural areas.
And you are based in Senegal.
Yes.
Can you talk about that experience and what you're seeing on the ground?
So Senegal is a great place to be, and the challenges in urban areas and rural areas are very different. But one of the main challenges is not necessarily getting information to people in rural areas, it's mainly getting information from them. And so with the ICT tools that we have already developed and that we will develop as part of this project, the uniqueness is that we are easily able to get information about the needs of people in rural areas for free. There is no cost to them. Because the tools are so interactive, we can respond to questions, we can ask them questions, and so really that's the uniqueness of this project in Senegal, is that it's the only platform that enables us to do that, and it really makes the interventions user-focused because we can get feedback from people in rural areas.
Okay. What interests you? What you're based in Senegal now, and what made you decide that I want to do this in Senegal?
So that was actually by accident. So my main motivation was to work with United Purpose, which is an amazing organisation. They've focuses on a broad range of themes. But the main purpose of the work we do in that area of the world is focused on livelihoods and agricultural livelihoods, which is something that I'm really interested in. Originally it was meant to be in the Gambia, but because I speak French, I was able to go to Senegal, where the team is much smaller. And that's just how I came to be in Senegal. It's really been an amazing experience.
Okay. And you, Rwanda?
I'm based in Boston, so I'm representing our company at today's event. The head of this project and this initiative is based in Kigali, Rwanda, and our partner Women for Women International has been active in Rwanda for now 22 years. So this project will be executed by our Dimagi staff based out of Rwanda, South Africa, Mozambique, and Senegal.
Oh, okay. And you, Bangladesh?
So I'm based in the Bay Area in California. We have an office in Bangladesh who will be implementing this project. We also have 3 offices in Africa as well. So we have West Africa based in Accra, East Africa in Nairobi, and then we have an office in Johannesburg as well.
You talk about your experience earlier on during the event. Can you share a little bit about that and what led you to?
Yeah, so previously I have spent the last 10 years living in Uganda. And so I was in a car accident in driving to Western Uganda. That is kind of what precipitated my move back to the United States, just because I was not able to get the health care that I needed there. But I think what it's done is made me really passionate and understanding about how vulnerable women are to not having the emergency healthcare services they need, especially in rural areas.
Speaking of healthcare is a major issue of women empowerment. Not just in Africa, globally, even in the United States, we have issue of maternal healthcare. So what are you seeing on the ground in your work, if you can share some of that experience?
So specifically, Solidaridad works in building ethical and sustainable supply chains within 13 specific commodities. So we don't do direct work in healthcare, but I think that agriculture is one of the most accessible ways for women to earn money. And I think that there's a direct correlation between poverty and being able to get access to the healthcare that you need. So I think for what we're doing to kind of try to bridge that is to provide economic opportunity for women. We don't do direct healthcare interventions.
But what you do in other way impact.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
So
think just allowing women to earn money for themselves.
so they can pay for their own. They can
exactly.
pay. Okay. So I guess my other question to you guys is, right now, women economic empowerment is a major topic. Not just in the US, globally, we have the Me Too movement. Aside from this program that you guys are working on, if you can share your own experience, what does women economic empowerment mean to each one of you?
That's such a great question. To me, it means having the financial ability to be a decision maker in your house, in your own life, about your own body, and it's a right that all women should have, and it's a right that can sometimes be tied to financial capability, financial earnings, and savings. And I think that link is really important, and I'm excited to be part of a project that's striving to lift up one side of that equation in the hope that the other side is lifted as well.
Yeah, I think I really agree with that. I think it's about getting women access to the resources they need to make informed decisions for themselves, whether that's financial or knowledge. I think that there's kind of a balance between these different elements that contribute.
For me, women's economic empowerment, it's not just about women having more money. Of course, that's very important, but it's about them being able to make decisions about how it's spent, what it's invested in, and also being in an environment where women's decisions about household income or their businesses are respected and they're seen as valuable contributors to their businesses and their households and the general economy.
Okay. I guess my other question is the funds that are provided to you. How do you plan to use those funds? If you can talk, if you can share some of your plans.
Yeah, absolutely. So the funds that are being provided to Dimagi are being disseminated between Dimagi, our partners, Women for Women International, and IDEO.org. So Dimagi is a tech company. Our role will be in developing the chatbot technology and iterating on that technology in consultation with the women that are receiving and giving messages to the chatbot. Our partners will be using the money for implementation and design consultations.
So you will be working with local partners.
Women for Women International has a local presence in Rwanda. IDEO.org is another U.S. organization, U.S.-based organization.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We will be working with Solidaridad's Asia office. We have a team on the ground that would be directly implementing this program for us. So currently we receive funding through the Dutch government for a program that we call the Safal program that works with 18,000 women dairy farmers across Bangladesh. And so this initiative will be building this digital application component on top of that program and accessing those same farmers that we're already working with.
Okay.
So for us, like I mentioned, there's 5 organisations in the consortium. One component is a research component, so we really strongly believe that there needs to be a strong evidence base on these kind of interventions. So that's partly where some of the funds will be going. Secondly, we're working with a tech company to develop the actual software, so there's a cost associated to that. Implementing the actual ICT tools, like I said, we're pushing and pulling information from rural communities, and that costs money. And then we've got everything to do with knowledge management and delivery of business development services. The actual training packages available, that's what the funds will primarily be used for.
Okay. This program was launched earlier this year. There is a lot of issue in addressing women economic empowerment, and in this aspect, I'm going to be the devil's advocate. People might look at you and say, well, you guys are privileged. What do you understand about people living in the village? How can you relate to them? So, if you can share, I mean, you all have different experience, and if you can share that, and just
So at Dimagi, one of the things that we say quite openly is that we're not content experts, and that speaks to that lack of knowledge that we have. And that's part of why we have a partnership model. So anytime we build any sort of technology, we're partnering with a local organization that spends all of their time, all of their staff time in the geographies where they're implementing a program. They understand that end user, they understand that beneficiary, and the tools that we develop as a tech company are in total consultation with that partner. Beyond that, together we and the partner can come up with what we think is a great tool, and the folks in the field might hate it. So we're responsible to go and collect their feedback and change our tools based on what they're telling us they like and don't like about those tools.
okay.
For us specifically, this project was designed by our office in Bangladesh, which is staffed by not foreigners, it's all Bangladeshi. And so I might sit here in front of you today as an American. That just is by default of me being the closest staff member at Solidaridad to this event. And so I want to emphasize that Solidaridad's project really is locally driven, and it's going to be implemented in Bangladesh by our office in Bangladesh under our Asia kind of bridge, which is headquartered from Delhi.
Yeah, we're in a similar situation to Solidaridad in that I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I can relate to those issues, but the project itself was developed by people that are are affected by these issues. So it was made in consultation with microfinance institutions who told us exactly what challenges they face. And it was made in consultation with women entrepreneurs who were explaining to us those challenges. We already have the ICT tools that could potentially help. And the benefit of those tools is that they're interactive. So like I said, we can get information from the field, from the people whose lives are affected by these issues. And so it's all informed by people on the ground. It's not informed by people who are just sat in an office, making up projects. It's really responding to a need.
One of the main things we've learned, I've spoken about, and that is that dialogue between the people that are on the ground going to be using the tools on a daily basis and the developers that are sitting in our Boston office or our Delhi office or our Cape Town office and trying to design a really intuitive, user-friendly tool. That dialogue needs to be happening quite a bit.
Okay. Speaking of continuing and expanding that dialogue, according to data from the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, investing in women economic empowerment is not only central to realizing women's rights and gender equality. It's a smart economic investment to realizing an inclusive society now and a sustainable future for the next generation. That's the end of this episode. Check out videos from previous episodes on our website, theafricabazaar.com, and please subscribe to our channel. Until next time, remember, stay open to new experience, get involved in your community, and encourage one another. I am Kemi Oshukoya. I will see you next time.